Hello, I'm Joanne Bester, and welcome back to our 4th episode in our Regen series. When we last spoke to Roland, he discussed the ecological processes, and today we wish to practically demonstrate this. So let's start with the water cycle. One of the more obvious or pronounced effects that we can see when the water cycle is being affected must be erosion. So what typically happens in this instant is that the soil has become so capped that it has no way of being able to retain the water. The water starts to build momentum from the mountain and it comes down, washing everything away in its path, including some of the plants. And inevitably you are going to be left with these trenches that start to form, and the soil is so capped that there is absolutely no way that it's going to be able to absorb water. The water just picks up speed and causes more problems further down the line. So to practically illustrate the effect that plant material has on holding the soil, you can actually clearly see how even this poor bush that is standing here on its own, struggling, is actually keeping a whole lot of soil back, and it's working against the effects of erosion. That wants to say that if we had more plants coverage here, you would be holding back a whole lot more soil. Now this is a poor example, but even here you can see as the animals walk from the field to the water, they make these little footpaths. And you can even see that even that little bit of disturbance makes the soil a little bit looser over here than what it would be over there. But really all that is necessary is animal impact to come and cap open the soil, and it will be able to retain more water. The next ecological process that we're going to look at is the mineral cycle. Now, despite the obvious problem that we have here with the water cycle, we also very much have a problem with the mineral cycle. This soil has absolutely no mineral content, or very little mineral content. It hasn't got any compost in it. We've got no organic matter. It's absolutely barren of all those things. And the problem is with the soil that is barren like this is the temperature fluctuations here are huge. At night it's going to go into the minuses, and during the day it can get 50 degrees Celsius. And that is not very good for any microbial life. So it won't support microbes, over and above the fact that there's too little nutrients here for the microbes. We need to get living roots in here to be able to feed the microbes, to be able to get the whole system healthier. Now, the other two things in the ecological process is energy flow and community dynamics. When we were looking at that barren patch of ground and we spoke a bit about how the microbes and the activity just cannot happen there, that affects the community dynamics, and it's very necessary for those community dynamics to be present in order to boost the ecosystem and to make sure that it is healthy. But when we are looking at energy flow specifically, we can look at this grass over here. You can see that this grass has already become lignified. It is hard, it is a lot of cellulose in here, its nutritional value has considerably dropped, and so effectively the energy flow has been stopped here. This plant is not very productive in terms of energy flow, despite the fact that it's dry. It's also just gotten too big, it's got too much dead material, and so everything sort of stops. The only way that you can now do anything about this is to give grazing animals some protein, get their stomach fueled up so that they can try and graze this down, and even if they don't graze it, to trample it apart so that we can expose the growing points of the grass to the sun and it'll start to grow again. In our next episode, we're going to have a look at some of the tools that we have at our disposal to be able to help influence our ecological processes.